Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Sarah. I'm a mindset mastery coach, transformational hypnotherapist, and attachment style specialist. In today's video, we're talking about the sunk cost fallacy that originated in economics that we can actually use in relationships. And I want to use it in the context of attachment styles, in the context of relationships that are dysfunctional or toxic. If you'd like a personal session with me, there's a link to book a 20-minute discovery call below. I'm booked up into mid next week, and then I'll have some availability. But then actually next weekend, I have an attachment course that I'm doing. So I will be unavailable next Friday to Sunday. So it may be the following week before I actually have availability. But anyway, let's get right into this discussion. So again, I created two videos, and long story short, the sound wasn't on and I had to recreate them. So my voice is a little bit hoarse because I've had a couple sessions today as well. So I'm going to do my best to get us through this video and this content. So if you haven't heard of it, which probably a lot of you have, the sunk cost fallacy is it's this tendency to keep investing in something long after the payout is gone. So it's sort of like we know things aren't working anymore inside of these dysfunctional or toxic or even abusive relationships, but we stay because we've invested. We've invested time, money, energy, resources. We've invested love. We've opened our hearts. We've been vulnerable. And we just think like maybe we own a home together with this person. Maybe we have kids together. Maybe we own a business together. And we just think, oh my God, it's riskier for me to leave than to stay. And I think that's really where it hits home, where we feel like, I'm going to say it again, it's riskier for us to leave than it is to stay. That's not the truth, but that's what we tell ourselves. And that's what it can feel like oftentimes when we're dealing with the sunk cost fallacy. So even when we know something is not working out, because we stay because of past investments made. And there's a cognitive bias in this that I want to talk about. So we can be unhappy and totally unfulfilled and still choose to stay in this relationship. And you've seen this with loved ones. You've probably experienced it yourself. You stay even though you know that things aren't working. You tell yourself things like, this is cognitive bias. Oh, things will get better. Or if you know what, if I change XYZ, things are going to be fine. We're going to get through this. We've gotten through other things. We're going to get through this. And you're choosing not to see the truth of what's actually happening. So we have this, as human beings, we have this fear of wasting time. And I think it's because we know one day we're all going to die. I'm a Scorpio, so I talk about death. Scorpio sun, Cancer rising. But we have this thing, it's like, I'm wasting time. Oh my God, I can't have wasted time. That can't be how it ends. I have to create a different ending. Or no, I'm not going to allow this thing to end. I'm not going to allow this relationship to end with this person. Why? Because you know what? I've invested so much time, energy, resources that I'm going to make this happen, like for better or worse. And then things happen, like we get sick. And my ladies out there, you are much more prone, we are much more prone to getting autoimmune diseases than men are. Men can absolutely get them, but women are more likely statistically to get them. So what does that mean? Well, if you're staying in a relationship that's unhealthy and in this toxic environment, then you're more likely, your immune system is more likely to suffer and take a hit. Your adrenals, your kidneys, your liver, everything is going to take a hit. Your intuition. And you can create an environment that's more conducive to developing an autoimmune disease or condition. This is not fun. I've had them. They are not fun. It creates chronic illness and chronic fatigue. Yes, you can recover from that, but it's so damaging to your health. It's so damaging to your body. Why would you want to do that to yourself? If you truly love yourself and accept yourself, you wouldn't want to do that to yourself. You would want to exit a relationship or a situation that's not working. But again, that fear of wasting time, you create justifications for staying. You say things like, well, I need to invest more of myself. Or, you know what, this person, this is it. You see the potential of that person. You're like, you know what, I saw the potential in the beginning. Potential. And then that potential never actually comes to fruition for that person or for yourself or for that relationship. And so you end up spending all this time investing in this relationship, and then it doesn't pan out. Why? Because maybe it was never going to in the first place. Maybe this relationship was more about an attachment and healing your attachment style and learning about that. Maybe this relationship was more just about a learning lesson in general. Maybe this person is your greatest teacher in this lifetime, and you're going to learn things from this person that nobody else could teach you in this specific way. What I want you to do, if you think you're a victim of this sunk cost fallacy thinking mindset, is I want you to consider for a moment what's really happening now inside of this relationship with this person. Am I really happy with the current state of affairs? Is it truly fulfilling for me to stay where I'm at? What am I hoping to get out of this current situation? And then be really honest with yourself. What do I fear losing if I walk away? You need to be okay with walking away. You need to be okay with walking away with the clothes on your back. You need to be okay with losing money. You need to be okay with losing friends. You need to be okay with whatever is going to transpire if you decide to exit that relationship. You need to be okay with maybe having to start over like I've done. You need to be okay with the unknown. Is this current relationship, not how it was, not the potential, but is it fulfilling? Is it healthy? And does it make you happy? Well, I shouldn't say make you happy, because something outside of yourself can make you happy, but that's temporary. Does it bring you joy is more correct. Does it bring you joy? Does it make you feel constricted or expansive? And again, let's go back to that cognitive bias where we tell ourselves, because we're so intelligent, the ego is like, wait a second. Those past investments which I made, which cannot be recovered ever, they're like at the bottom of the ocean. Those past investments, time, energy, resources, etc. Pardon me. Since they can't be recovered, we say, how are those things influencing your decision not to leave? Probably a lot. So maybe take time to really sit with yourself and answer those questions that I've asked, and really be honest with yourself, because is it really worth it to lose yourself inside of this relationship? Is it really worth it to continue going down this path that you know is going to bring you strife, is going to bring more arguing, is going to bring a loss of self-abandonment, autoimmune diseases potentially down the road? Is it really worth it? Loss of sleep, loss of a job, like all of these things, loss of creativity, creative skills. Is it really worth it just because of what you've sunken into this relationship? Maybe it's time to cut your losses and walk and say, you know what? I can create new experiences, new memories, and I can heal and I can recover from this. I'll recover in every way. I'll recover financially, I'll recover physically, I'll recover mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and I'm going to be okay. Maybe this was just a lesson for me. Sometimes love isn't always forever, or love is forever, but the relationship or the person can't be forever. Maybe that person can't go where you're going. Maybe that person isn't equipped to handle what's coming up for you. Maybe you need somebody more stable, more emotionally available to handle what might be coming for you in your life. And think about this. This is a good question that I like to ask my clients. If you stay with this person, when the next major calamity happens in your life, and it will, because it's life, an illness, a loss of a loved one, loss of a job, whatever, is that the person you want to be with? Is that the person that's going to be able to support you? And if not, I'd like you to ask yourself, why am I staying with this person? Is it out of loyalty for who they used to be or what we used to be? Is it out of potential? Is it out of fear? Usually it's out of fear. Usually it's fear. There's always fear wrapped up in that. If the person is secure enough, they will leave when they're not being honored, when their needs aren't being met, when they're not being respected, when they know that they're not going to grow in joy and grow in creativity and grow in love, but they're sinking. Again, sunk cost fallacy. Is it worth it? So ask yourself those questions, get really honest with yourself, and hopefully this video has brought some clarity on maybe what's going on for you. For some of you, if you're thinking about leaving a relationship, or if you've already left, or you're like, gosh, I know I should, but I don't think I can. I don't think I can, Sarah, because of all these reasons. Get really honest with yourself. You might have to do something really uncomfortable to get to the other side of this, to then get what you really want and what you really deserve. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you in the next video.